With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Good evening, once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. How you doing? How you feeling out there on YouTube land and Facebook, Twitch as well? Good to see you out there tonight as Swift Motorsports presents the Performance Motorsports Truck Series Double Down 108 live here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, race number 2. Here in season number 2, first race of the new year for these drivers in the trucks. Last night we hit the track with the K&N cars. What a race that was. We seen Michael Atkins Jr. go to victory lane back to back for him. He's in the field tonight. Can he go out there and snatch yet another win? We'll have to wait and see. Thanks for joining us here tonight. I am Darkside Dave in the Cave, bringing you all the action from the track here tonight And I am venturing to say it is going to be pretty hot and heavy down there trackside. Multiple drivers down there on pit road shaking out their trucks in the final few minutes here in happy hour. So as the clock continues to wind down here in this 30-minute happy hour session, we'll see who is on top of the speed charts. Looks like there you have it right there off to the left-hand side of your screen. Final 2 minutes here in practice, and Michael Atkins Jr. up at the top of the speed charts. He's got Jim Thorndike right behind him. Sebastian Guggen right there in fourth. And Caden Atkins rounding out your top 5 here in happy hour. As we continue to roll through some of the official business, why don't we go ahead and give you your championship rundown coming in to tonight's race. Just 2 races into the season here for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series presented by Swift Motorsports here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Todd Cray taking a win last week at Kansas, and he continues to try to get the job done here tonight. Comes into tonight's point standings just 2 points ahead of the race, of the rest of the competition. Michael Atkins right there in second. Caden Atkins right there in third. Jason Capella fourth. Jonathan Holston, Nick Hunt, Alan Young, Kevin Haas, Lee Staples, and Edward Bray round out your top 10 in the point standings coming into tonight's race. Multiple other drivers, some fresh faces out there tonight looking to gain in the points very early in the season. A lot of ground for these drivers to make up as we continue to roll on through the night. We'll see who can get the job done and, well, who falls to the wayside. Taking a good look down pit road as we watch these trucks continue to put in some time lapse here, trying to get the final few moments of happy hour underneath their belt, trying to get all the information that they can for their crew chief, spotters, as well as teammates out there. Remember last night, 4X Racing, great finish from all of the drivers out of that stable. Took a second and third. Also, two of their other drivers up there in the top 10 in the points last night in the K&N race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So look for 4X to be right there once again as we see the checkered flag flying here in happy hour. Final seconds going to click off and drivers will reset, go back down pit road, jump in the trucks, and get ready to put down their fast time here in qualifying for Swift Motorsports Double Down 108 in the Performance Motorsports Trucks Series. Let's see who we've got out there on track. Doesn't look like anybody out there in the truck just yet. Now I say that, here comes multiple drivers to the track. I tell you what, let's jump out there with Jimmy Cormier as he's on his up-to-speed lap, getting off of the apron just now, joining the racetrack. Sebastian Guggen out there, as well as Don Kidder, Toby Bird, Stephen Ayers, Kevin Haas, Jim Thorndike, Edward Bray, all out there on the track right now on their up-to-speed laps. We'll throw your qualifying graphic and information up for you right there on the left-hand side as soon as these drivers start putting down a few timed laps. And I tell you what, let's go ahead, give you a little bit of that information right there. Already 1 minute clicked off of the stopwatch here in this 5-minute fast qualifying session for Performance Motorsports Truck Series presented by Swift Motorsports. The 95 of Cormier coming off of turn number 4 for the first time on his qualifying lap. Let's see where he's going to shake out. Crossing the line, let's see, he's going to go second on the speed chart as Stephen Ayers goes top of the board right now. Quick time, 31:48 for Ayers. Sebastian Guggen going to take that away, and now Edward Bray crosses the line, 31:15 for Bray. As Cormier searching for some time now, working his way off of turn number 2 for the final time in his qualifying hopes. Gonna cross the line this time by. There you see him crossing the stripe. Where is he gonna slot in third? Gonna have to wait to see if that holds up. Already dropping through the pylon as Andy Starcher makes his first time lap there in the 19 machine. We've seen Starcher in that familiar monster paint scheme last night here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Ayers High Racing Paints Arca Menard Series. Will that Monster Energy truck have any better luck than what he had last night? Good, solid top 10 finish last night. Let's see if he can improve his qualifying spot right now. Goes 7th on the speed charts. Jim Ott out of nowhere sneaking it in up there at the top of the speed charts right now, taking the provisional pole away. We're going to jump now back with Britt Crawford as he begins his time lapse. Look for Crawford to be pretty fast out there as well. Nick Hunt, Larry Poling out on the track on his qualifying laps as well. So multiple drivers out there right now trying to get all they can as we've reached the 3-minute mark here in this 5-minute qualifying session. All of these Performance Motorsports Truck Series drivers trying to knock Jim Ott off of the speed charts. Michael Atkins going to go second, but not enough. 31.06 for Atkins. He ties him, but that third number just a little bit lower, so Atkins not going to take that pole position away. Britt Crawford crosses the line, going to go 15th for his first time lap. Now bumps down to 16th. More drivers slowly begin to file across the finishing line for their qualifying time. 3.5 minutes into this 5-minute qualifying session. The 18 truck crosses the line. Crawford gonna go 8th on the speed chart. We'll jump back now with Darren Clement as he's off of turn number 4 for, I believe this will be his first time lap here for Clement. And indeed it is, going 15th on the speed charts right now. We've got 25 drivers already on this qualifying board. So a lot of truck drivers out there tonight trying to give it all they got for the Double Down 108. Live at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We continue to watch Darren Clement, last driver on track here in this 5-minute qualifying session. Does he have anything for Jim Ott's 31.06? Crossing the line. Can he improve? Yes, he does. Up to 5th, but not good enough to knock the man sitting at the top of the speed charts off of the top of the speed charts. Darren Clement gonna bring his car to a stop and reset, head back to pit road. And with that being said, we're gonna take a brief commercial break before we head down trackside for the national anthem. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in
And as the jets fly over and the drivers begin to make their way to the starting grid, do want to take a brief moment, ladies and gentlemen, to acknowledge, admire, and celebrate the life of a loved one lost earlier this past week by one of the admins here in Swift Motorsports. Our thoughts, prayers, condolences go out to you and your entire family. If there's anything we can do for you here at Turn 3 Racing Network, all you've got to do is simply reach out to us and we'll be right there for you. Do join me, please, race fans, in a moment of silence to recognize, celebrate, and remember a great woman, Stacey Wells, passing away earlier this month. And we thank you, race fans, for joining us in that moment of silence to celebrate the life of Stacey Wells, mother of one of the admins here in Swift Motorsports. We do appreciate you joining us in remembering her and celebrating the life and love that she gave while she was here. And with solemn hearts and heavy hearts, a lot of these truck drivers begin to fire their engines on the starting grid, and we will slowly begin to fire things off here and get ready to go green flag racing. But before we do, we have got to set the field for tonight's Double Down 108, and you hear the bells in the background. That means it's time to run down your starting order for tonight's Double Down 108 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, starting inside row number 1, walking away with the pole position, the 4 of Jim Ott. Lining up just to his outside, the fast 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. Row number 2 here tonight, the 21 of Todd Cray, followed by the 44 of Jason Ayerson. Row number 3, the 32 of Darren Clement and the 2 of Caden Atkins. Starting in the 7th spot tonight, the 86 of Alan Young, followed by Ryan Branchew in the 6th. Row number 5, Britt Crawford, followed by Jim Thorndike, rounding out your top 10. Starting inside row number 6, the 10 of David Cameron. Just to his outside, that 19 Monster Energy truck driven by Andy Starcher. Starting in row number 7 here tonight, the 1 of Kevin Haas, followed by the 66 of Edward Bray. Jonathan Holston and Sebastian Guggen gonna make up row number 8. Row number 9 tonight, the 00 of Nick Hunt, followed by the 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr., Robert Hitz, and Ron Shute gonna make up row number 10. Starting in the 21st position, the 95 of Jimmy Cormier, the 69 of Larry Poland will line up in the 22nd spot. Matthew Highmore in the 79 machine gonna line up in 23rd. Toby Bird in his 99 machine slotting in the 24th starting position. Don Kidder in the 03 starting shotgun. Sally Justin Gain also in the house, as well as Gary Wells. There you have it. That's your starting lineup for tonight's Double Down 108 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Pace car ready to duck off. We're ready to go green flag racing once again, race fans, here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Thanks for joining us. There goes the pace car. We're ready to fire things off. Field comes to the restart box. Flagman has it in his hand. Green flag flies here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Michael Atkins gets off to a great jump, but Jim Ott strong on the inside. The 21 right there on his rear bumper. These trucks very, I don't want to say very stiff on the handling, but very grippy earlier here at the track. I was lucky enough, fortunate enough, Turn 3 Racing Network let me get in the cutaway truck and it put down some few laps, and it was absolutely, it was great. Oh, and the 4 with some big issues. He's going to stack up the field at the front, as on the outside, Todd Cray goes by. Michael Atkins Jr. going by. 2-3 wide once again as your race leader, your pole sitter, Jim Ott, going backwards. There's a problem on that 4 truck. Problem for the 4 as he continues to lose positions here tonight, falling backwards after putting down the fast lap, taking away the pole position. Now struggling for some speed, struggling to find some grip. That 4 truck is all over the track. Not sure if something broke in qualifying or not, but Jim Ott having a hard time corralling that truck right now very early in the goings. Lap number 3 out of the 108 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Ott looks to slowly be getting that car to his liking. Maybe just needed to get the tires up to temperature, possibly gain a pound or 2 of air pressure, and it looks like that truck is finally doing what Ott wants it to do. Still multiple trucks out there battling for position. Top spot still not sorted out. Michael Atkins there, you can see, taking a look on the outside. He's going to take that top spot away. New leader on the outside off of turn number 2. Michael Atkins Jr. taking that top spot, and if these truck drivers watched what he did last night in the K&N Series here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, they have got to be concerned about him already being out front. Jim Ott back there running with, I believe that's Ryan Branchew just to his inside. That actually may be Caden Atkins. Yes, it is Caden Atkins right there battling with Jim Ott for the last spot in the top 5. We've got more battles all over this racetrack. Going to look a little further back through the field. There you can see battles going on. That's for 12th, 13th, 14th. All these truck drivers kind of single file back here, but still all over each other, all within striking distance. If there is one slip up, one mistake, the competition is going to be all over you, breathing down your neck. Back at the front, Michael Atkins Jr. continues the lead, but trying to take it back away is Todd Cray, and not letting Atkins go anywhere. We've got a breakaway at the front of the field. Your top 5 have gotten themselves about a 0.3 of a second gap. There you can see it. Not a very big gap, as Jim Ott continues to try to make his way back to the front, down on the apron. That's not going to work out this time by. He's going to have to fall back, fall in line. Gap created right there just behind Atkins. He's going to have to fall in line pretty quickly. Otherwise, this next group of cars, they're going to be there any moment, as Darren Clement right there with Alan Young. They're battling side by side, 6th and 7th on the track right now. Just behind them, another battle between Jim Thorndike and Alan Young. Those two battling for the 8th and 9th position. Britt Crawford right there in the mix as well in his 08 machine. And now making his way up inside the top 10. Back at the front, keeping our eye on that. Michael Atkins Jr. continues to lead the race here. Gonna watch this close little battle a little further back in the pack. Running for the 10th position, the 18 gets the spot away and drives right on around that 59 of Jim Thorndike. There you see a little bit of a stack up behind Thorndike as Andy Starcher made a strong run off of 4. Just nowhere to go with the run. Has to back out just a little bit. We'll head back up towards the front of this field with your race leaders as they make their way off of turn 2. The 41-21 lined up nose to tail as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. Back down the back stretch once again. Jason Ayrson right there in the 3rd position. The 2 truck of Caden Atkins right there running in the 4th spot. He's got Ryan Branchew and Jim Ott just behind them. Small gap back to Darren Clement and Alan Young. Jim Thorndike and Britt Crawford round out your top 10 as we cross the line to begin lap number 11 out of the 108 scheduled in the official race distance. And oh my goodness, race fans, looks like we may have had a little bit of an incident. No caution coming out for it. We're going to take a quick look back here, see what happened to Brian Hitz. Quick look back here at the incident with Hitz in that 22 machine. Just behind him, the 10 off the wall, back down into the 22, off of the track. Slight impact with the car to that inside concrete barrier, but we'll jump back up front live with your race leader as he continues to try to keep Todd Cray just behind him. We'll throw the gaps and intervals up for you as well right there so you can follow along with the distance just as we do. Top 3 now beginning to develop that gap. Caden Atkins beginning to fall back just a little bit, and I wonder if this is a product of the tires, maybe fuel strategy coming into play. Fuel cell going to run dry at about 27, 28 laps, so multiple chances for a mistake and a mishap. The pit road police popped a few drivers last night. Will they be out in full effect here tonight? Once again for the Double Down 108 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for Performance Motorsports Truck Series presented by Swift Motorsports here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, crossing the line, leading yet another lap. That 41 of Michael Atkins grabbed the race lead on about lap number 3, and he has, I don't want to say set sail, but he has locked it in up at the front. Very tough to get around that Exalta 41 Chevy Silverado. We've got Silverados up there in the top 3 spots. One lone Ford up inside the top 5 being piloted by Caden Atkins right there in that 2 machine. Atkins trying to show some Ford performance here tonight, but unfortunately he's being overwhelmed at the front of the field by a bunch of Chevys. Ryan Branchew, Jim Ott also joined the Chevy stable of drivers. Darren Clement, the only other Ford driver inside the top 10. He's running back in the 7th spot. And speaking of Clement, we'll go back here because there's a little bit of a battle starting to develop between Branchew, Ott, and Clement. All right there stacked up with each other, running at the back of this front pack here. As we've got to go just a little bit of a distance back. There you can see Alan Young just behind Clement. There you see the big distance, the big gap, 1.2 seconds back to that small battle going on right here with Jim Thorndike, Andy Starcher, as well as Britt Crawford. Nick Hunt still in the hunt for a top 10 right now. Edward Bray and Jonathan Holston make up your top 14. Jimmy Cormier right there slotted in the 15th spot. Gonna jump back around the track just a little bit, back up to the front as Todd Cray continues to hunt the bottom, hunt the front, running that bottom lane, catfishing if you will. Oh, and contact! Oh my goodness, contact! And down goes, I believe, that is Atkins that had some trouble there. No, Atkins still running right now. Oh my goodness, who was that took off down the track? I'm trying to look, trying to see. Not catching who it was right here. Gonna look a little further back up through the field. That may have been Crawford in the 18 machine that we seen get a little bit sideways. There you can see him. That was a big time moment, big time save. Not sure how he kept it that way, but 3 wide into turn number 3. This time by Crawford on the bottom. Clement just in front of him. They go by. And Nick Hunt on the outside. Andy Starcher right there in that 18 machine just in front of Darren Clement. And this race, fans, this is a battle. Taking a look at the front of the field, nothing happening very much up there. Michael Atkins continues to lead the race. Todd Cray and Jason Ayerson right there still in tow. About 2 to 3 tenths off is the gap between each one of those drivers. We'll stick with this very close battle for a top 10 spot. As Starcher right there slotted in the 9th position. Clement trying to keep that top 10 alive just behind that Monster Energy Chevy Silverado piloted by Starcher. Starcher doing a whale of a job trying to make his way up through the field. So we'll rejoin the front of the field once again as we watch Todd Cray continue to try to run down your race leader, Michael Atkins Jr. Atkins with a great, solid run last night in the K&N cars for Swift Motorsports. The Ayers iRacing paints ARCA Menard Series for Swift Motorsports. Michael Atkins Jr. got out front and set sail on the field, and we may very well be seeing that unfold before our eyes yet again here tonight as we close in on what will be green flag pit stops. I would venture to say here within the next 5 laps or so, drivers going to be screaming for fuel. I'm not sure if they're going to need these tires just yet. The tire wear seems to be fairly minimal here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in these truck series. So going to be interesting to see if anybody's willing to gamble early here and maybe take a fuel-only stop. Or will they just have to come to pit road and get those 4 tires? Looking at the timing and scoring, Michael Atkins Jr., one of the fastest drivers overall, 31 flat for him, best time last time by 32.4, so about a second and a half fall off for the fuel run on the tires. So if you do some math, do some crew chiefing, it may be worth the gamble with what you might gain with a fuel-only stop very early here. And it's a risk-reward. Not sure who's willing to risk it for the reward, but the reward may very well be huge. You could find yourself with a 6 or 7 second advantage, and it is going to be quite hard for these drivers to make that much distance up. They might get to you, but by the time they do, their tires are going to be pretty worn out. Not sure if they're going to be able to make that pass at that point in time. So will we see any of these crew chiefs call an audible here as we close in on the green flag pit cycle? The 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. with a big push from Todd Cray running just behind him back into turn number 1. They stack him up as Ayrton begins to fall to the wayside. He's fallen back now about 3 truck lengths in the 3rd spot. And you know, I've mentioned it a few times here tonight. Excuse me. Mentioned it a few times here tonight. Michael Atkins Jr. going to victory lane last night, as well as the last race in 2020 in the K&N Series for Swift Motorsports. Dominating performance last night in the K&N Series, but don't count Todd Cray out. Todd Cray, no slouch here in the trucks. The season opener, Todd Cray took that 21 and sat it right in victory lane, so don't count that 21 truck out as he now hunts the bottom of the racetrack. Gets a nose underneath that 41. Not able to quite get there just yet as the green flag pit cycle has begun. Nick Hunt, Britt Crawford, Larry Poling, as well as Matthew Highmore, as well as Stephen Ayers, all 5 of those drivers to pit road that time by. And second place, Todd Cray. He's going to peel off track. I bet you that caught Atkins as well as Ayrton off guard. A little bit of an abrupt move to pit road there by Todd Cray. As Sebastian Guggen as well as Jimmy Cormier, Don Kidder, Britt Crawford, Nick Hunt now leaving pit road. 3 drivers to pit road that time by. Multiple drivers beginning to work their way off of pit road as your race leader peels off, as well as, oh my goodness, 18 truck. Or that's the 2. I apologize. The 2 of Caden Atkins almost into the rear of that 44, just in front of him coming to pit road. Pretty hot. Gonna have to see if the pit road police got themselves yet another one as Jim Thorndike and Edward Bray both stay out That's going to put multiple drivers down a lap there. You can see them working their way back onto the racetrack. Todd Cray, last driver, scored on the lead lap, and will that 56 and 66 come to pit road this time by? Looks like they both peel off, so that's going to put the lead back into the hands of this man right here. I do believe if he can keep this run up there, you can see him passing a ton of cars coming off of pit road. Michael Atkins Jr. losing a ton of ground on pit road that time through the green flag pit cycle to Todd Cray. Todd Cray enjoys about a 4.5 second advantage right now. Still has to get up here and get by Edward Bray and Jim Thorndike before he can claim the race lead. And there you have it, as Thorndike and Bray just now beginning to make their way off of pit road back to the top spot here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The 21 of Todd Cray has a huge advantage right now. Cray, my goodness. What a great stop there for Cray. 44.4 seconds on and off pit road total. That is about at least a second faster than his closest competitor. But 47.4 seconds on pit road for Michael Atkins Jr. That is a 3-second difference right there just on and off pit road. That translates to almost a 6-second gap now for this 21 of Todd Cray at the front of the field leading the race. There you see Todd Cray running here in Swift. Cray doing an excellent job, man. I tell you what, that pit stop cycle for Cray, man, that was lightning quick, done at the right time. My goodness. And while we've worked ourselves through our first cycle of green flag pit stops, going to go ahead and run down through a little bit of house cleaning here tonight. 25 drivers took to tonight's starting grid. We have still got 23 drivers out there on track. Jimmy Cormier as well as David Cameron both being shown behind the pit wall right now. Stephen Ayers Jr. in the 61 machine, slotting into 20th position. Last car on the lead lap. Matthew Highmore sitting in the lucky dog positions should we see one of those dreaded yellow flags, and that is not what your race leader wants to see at all. Todd Cray wants this thing to go clean and green to the end as we work our way around the track here on lap number 34 out of the 108 scheduled in the official race distance for tonight's Double Down 108 at Las Vegas. Gonna go back as we've got some battles on the track. Look, Caden Atkins right there breathing down the neck of Michael Atkins right now. Man, oh man, I tell you what, these two drivers getting it done, pouring on the pressure right now as Atkins in that 2 machine looking to put his Ford up into that second spot. Can the two get the job done? Just behind them, you can find about a second back Alan Young with a great green flag pit cycle as well. Jason Ayerson right there in that bright 44 Chevy Silverado. Jim Ott, your pole sitter right now, running in the 6th spot. There you see him, third car in this small little pack. Long green flag run here for these drivers in Performance Motorsports Truck Series, presented to you by Swift Motorsports, live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network on iRacing.com. iRacing.com, world's #1 racing simulator. If you've ever wanted to drive it, you've ever wanted to crash it, I promise you it's a much cheaper and much more fun, less painful as well. Over here on iRacing.com, all cars, tracks scanned with laser precision. The physics, aerodynamic aspects are out of this world, mind-blowing. Rub elbows with the real racing stars from time to time in hosted lobbies. Head on over to iRacing.com. Continuing around the track is Todd Cray, looking back through the field, going to jump back here with this battle between Jim Ott, Jason Arson, as well as Nick Hunt. Nick Hunt sitting actually quite a ways back from this small battle going on with Alan Young, Jason Ayerson, and Jim Ott. Those three truck drivers battling for 4th, 5th, and 6th on the track. Just in front of them, the battle between Michael Atkins and Caden Atkins for the 2nd and 3rd position. Trying to see where some more battles are at on the track. Look at this gaggle of trucks right here. We've got a lot of drivers all over each other. Jonathan Holston, Edward Bray, Sebastian Guggen, Ron Shute now making the pass on Guggen to the inside. Shute trying to make that inside lane work, not getting it done just yet. And Toby Bird, Brandon Crawford, both of those drivers having some good solid runs, but Crawford falling back on that pit cycle. 49-second on and off pit road for him, so that has lost him a ton of ground and a ton of time. Do want to give a big shout out to the driver on screen right there in that 28 truck. Great solid podium finish last night in the Ayers High Racing Paints Arca Menard Series here for Swift. Oh, and contact just in front of them. Oh my goodness, how did they not crash that right there? Oh my. I believe Stephen Ayers was a victim of that. There you can see Ayers onto pit road, and that 62 truck got pushed out into that outside wall. Tough break for Ayers there as we jump back here with Jim Thorndike. He's got a lot of drivers stacked up behind him. Jonathan Holston, as well as Edward Bray, Don Kidder, Ron Shute, Sebastian Guggen, Britt Crawford. Back there running in the 16th position. 17th, Toby Bird. He's going to begin to work his way into the mix as well as these drivers continue to click off the green flag laps here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jumping back to the front where the real action's at. 41 of Michael Atkins. He's still got the 2 truck all over his rear deck lid, as well as Alan Young right there. Jason Ayerson as well as Jim Ott. They have brought themselves into the picture and looking to try to fight for a top spot, a podium position right now. Multiple truck drivers. We've got 5 of them trying to grab just 2 spots at the front. Nobody having anything for this man right here at the front. Your race leader continues to click off the laps. No problems in front of him, no problems behind him. Up 2 spots from where he started tonight's race. Driver out of New Jersey, that 21 of Todd Cray, setting sail on the field right now. 4.7 second race advantage enjoyed by that 21 of Todd Cray. Jump back to the battle for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th position on track as these drivers continue to try to jockey for the position. Nobody really able to make the pass just yet. Nobody really coming off of that bottom lane. These truck drivers really want to keep it down there close to the bottom of the track, and it looks like that is definitely the preferred line just right there, or 1 lane up seems to be the way these drivers are running the lines around here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Tire wear doesn't seem to be too hard on these truck drivers and crews here tonight, so look for that gamble at some point in time. I believe we're going to see a 2-tire stop at some point in time. Somebody's going to have to do something if they're going to make up 4.6 seconds on your race leader Todd Cray, who is just absolutely set sail on the field right now. Shoot E. Okay, I got you. Thank you for correcting me. No problem, no harm, no foul, right? Ron Shooty out there on a great run, trying to replicate the great run he had last night. Schutte now sitting in the 12th position, trying to run down Edward Bray. Jim Thorndike right there, last driver inside your top 10. Battle continuing to rage on for the second, third, fourth position on track as the 41, 2, and the 86 begin to gain a little bit of ground over Jason Arson. Arson right there in the 44 truck, starting to lose a little bit of ground. And oh, hard impact there. Oh my goodness, who was that? I believe that may have been Jim Ott right there. Hard impact that last time by off of turn number 2. You heard it, you seen it just passing the camera, and Ott is off the pace. That was a hard impact on the right side of that Chevy Silverado for Ott. Oh my, that is going to need some attention. You can see the right rear quarter also crinkled up just a little bit there, so Ott gonna lose a ton of ground. He's gonna have to bring it to pit road here in the next handful of laps, try to minimize the damage, and his crew is definitely going to have to go into damage control mode very, very soon. We'll rejoin the battle at the front for the second position on track. Still a 4-car battle after Jim Ott moments ago off of turn number 2 smacked the wall. Caved in the right side of his Chevy Silverado. He continues to run out there on track as Jason Ayerson makes his way up to this 3-car back to pack to continue this 4-truck battle here. After our first round of green flag pit stops, Todd Cray has absolutely walked away, and we are knocking on the door once again of green flag pit stops. Cray with a 4.3 advantage. Will he stretch the fuel, or will he go ahead and come down pit road and try to push the envelope yet again? With another great pit stop like that, he may very well begin to start really putting a lot of the field down one lap as we continue the green flag run here. We have been green since the start of tonight's race. All 52 laps run under green flag conditions here tonight for the Double Down 108 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for Performance Motorsports Truck Series, presented by Swift Motorsports, live on Turn 3 Racing Network. We continue this long green flag run. Todd Cray out front with a 4.2 second advantage. Looks like Cray losing a little bit of time now. Looks like he may be coasting the truck a little bit, trying to gain a little more fuel, a little more distance, maybe stretch it out to have another lap or two in this green flag run, as we are slowly closing in right on that halfway point of tonight's race. Driver's going to cross the line this time. Lap 54 now underway as Todd Cray has given up a pretty good, significant amount of time to the rest of the field. Cray upwards of 4.5 second race advantage at one point in time, now down to 3.7 seconds. So already giving up 1 second that last time by. Cray is definitely saving some fuel right now. Driver moves to the bottom as Alan Young takes the third spot away from Caden Atkins. Atkins, driver out of Canada, trying to repeat last week's finish, trying to finish in a good spot once again. And when I say finish in a good spot again, I mean Atkins, he finished second last week to Todd Cray. Or third, I should say, to Todd Cray and Michael Atkins Jr. And sitting right there in that third position once again is Caden Atkins, as we've got green flag pit cycle underway. Once again, Britt Crawford, Nick Hunt, all on to pit road back off of pit road comes a few drivers as well. Don Kidder, Toby Bird already down and away from pit road. Race leader hit pit road that time by Todd Cray, bringing it down for service once again. What will the rest of the field do? Drivers hitting the brakes, peeling off. Coming to pit road on lap number 56. We have got green flag pit cycles once again. What will these drivers do? More drivers coming to pit road as we've got Jim Thorndike as well as Edward Bray. They're both going to stay out on the track. Looks like Jonathan Holston also staying out on track. So your top three drivers right now still yet to make their second green flag pit stop. And close battle right here between Thorndike and Bray. Hot and heavy battle as Thorndike loses the spot. Bray going to take that top spot away, take the lead as he peels off for pit road this time by. And Thorndike going to stay out. He's going to be the lone wolf because Holston comes to pit road as well. So Thorndike all alone out there on track, last on to pit road on lap number 29. So he is getting fairly close on running out of fuel right now through the green flag pit cycle. Only 8 cars left on the lead lap. And it looks like, once again, Todd Cray has been able to get on and off pit road and back around the rest of the competition as Thorndike goes low to peel off for pit road. There you can see Jim Ott in the 4 getting one lap back, or getting back on the lead lap, I should say. That will more than likely put the lead of the race back in the hands of this man, driver that led the entire green flag run that we have just went through. And Todd Cray now crossing the stripe, gonna pass Thorndike, who is just now in his box. So Todd Cray back to the point, and he has got a 6-second advantage this time over Caden Atkins. Atkins with a great pit stop as well. He made up some time on and off pit road as well that time by to put him in the second position. Alan Young and Michael Atkins now rounds out your top 4. Jason Harrison back there in the 5th spot. Nick Hunt, great run by Hunt, up 11 positions. This 00 Popeyes Chevy Silverado with a great solid run so far here tonight as caution flag flies. Caution on the racetrack, looking to see around if we can see what has happened. And oh my, the 62 of Stephen Ayers with some trouble. We'll take a look back, see what happened to Ayers, and comes across the nose of the 6. And right into that outside wall. That is a tough break for Ayers. There you see the 6 make the move to the outside. I'm not even sure Ayers knew he was there. Let's look at that again. Quick move by the 6. He goes to the outside. I believe Ayers jumped to the, was looking to go to the bottom. We'll take one more look at it. There you see the move once again. It looked like Ayers was trying to go to the bottom of the racetrack and then realized some fast cars were coming up behind him, and he elected to stay. Tried to go back to the top side, but unfortunately that 6 of Ryan Branchew, he decided to go to the outside at that point in time, and well, there you have it. 2 trucks can't fit in one lane. Hard impact across the nose of that 6. Into the outside wall goes Stephen Ayers Jr. Looks like his night may come to an end after that one. We'll keep an eye on this 6 truck, see if Branchew comes to pit road this time to fix some of that damage that he has incurred here. And it looks like a lot of the field going to go ahead and come down pit road. All of your race leaders going to come down pit road. We'll take a look, see if anybody gambles and stays out. And look at this. We've got one gambling. Ryan Schutte out there taking the top spot away from the field. Jim Thorndike will line up just behind him. So those 2 drivers willing to risk it, willing to roll the dice here tonight in the Double Down 108 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway with our first caution here tonight. We're going to break away for just a brief moment for this from the Speedway. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. And oh my goodness, I've been muted over here talking like crazy with my mic muted. Oh my goodness. That's how it is. That's how it rolls, race fans. Sometimes Darkside Dave forgets to unmute himself. Do want to thank the production truck for walking in here and hit me over the head with a stick. Tell me, unmute your mic, man. Crazy race action going on all over the track during all of that. Nick Hunt has taken over the race lead. Jim Thorndike fallen to the wayside just a little bit, but now back to the second spot. Andy Starcher in that 19 Monster Energy Chevy Silverado having a solid run here tonight, improving 9 spots from where he started tonight's race. But the biggest mover now on track is the man at the front of this field, that 00 Popeyes machine being piloted by Nick Hunt, up 16 spots from where he started tonight's race, and we are closing in on the final few laps here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Double Down 108 in Swift Motorsports Performance Truck Series. Do want to take a brief moment to apologize to all the race fans out there for having the mics muted there. Sometimes you forget to do things. Do apologize about that, but we will continue to soldier on, give you this great racing action to the end of tonight's race. One green, white checkered should we need it, but we may very well just see another long green flag run. First caution flag flying here tonight at lap number 58. Then another fast, quick caution. And we have seen green flag racing since that second caution. Up at the front, Nick Hunt continues to lead the field, 0.2 of a second advantage over Jim Thorndike. Thorndike has the 19 of Starcher breathing down his neck. Starcher trying to get up there and take that second spot away. Not having any luck as of yet. A little back further through the field here you can find Todd Cray, Britt Crawford, as well as Jonathan Holston. Holston right there trying to take that spot away from Crawford. That is the last spot inside your top 5. Cray, after getting in some dirty air, he hasn't been able to work his way through the traffic and back to the front, back to the race lead, and that is exactly what these truck drivers are wanting to happen right in front of him. I mean, right behind them. They're wanting to keep him right there because Cray was lightning fast through the majority of tonight's race. After leading the most laps, he finds himself in a tough spot, running in the 4th position, trying hard to get up there by the rest of the drivers in front of him. Jim Thorndike right there running in the 3rd spot. And while we've got it all grouped up, you love it, I love it. We haven't hit it up yet tonight, so why don't we head down trackside for just a brief moment, give you some of our Turn It Up. Man, love the great camera work out here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. Hats off to each and every one of you behind the scenes that put in so much effort, so much work to get all these great camera shots here on board camera. Riding with Alan Young as he is continuing to try to get by Britt Crawford, but not having any success doing so just yet. And there you see Nick Hunt at the front of the field stepping away. Nobody really there to make the pass as the trucks come right through your screen, right at you. You're right in your living room. How you doing? How you feeling, race fans? That's what it's all about. Your race leader hits pit road. Nick Hunt peels off and heads to pit road that time by. Oh my, that very well may be his last pit stop of the race. Going to be able to make it from here for sure with just 22 laps remaining. That's going to put the race lead back in the hands of that 19 of Andy Starcher. Starcher taking over the race lead after your race leader, Nick Hunt, hit pit road. And Starcher struggling to get onto pit road. That was a close moment there for Starcher. Now Thorndike takes over control of the race. He's got Britt Crawford right there with him as well. Man, oh man, drivers all over. Oh my goodness, one way down on the apron there. Oh my. I believe that may just be looking through the timing and scoring, trying to see who that is. As we've got Jim Thorndike heading to pit road this time by. Multiple drivers coming to pit road. Alan Young going to stay out there on track, assume the race lead. Young last on to pit road on lap number 66 as Thorndike, Crawford, and Brenchu all head to pit road that time by. How long will this 86 stay out there on the track? With just 20 laps to go, we have closed in on the witching hour here for these Performance Motorsports Truck Series drivers, where wins become losses and dreams get crushed. Looking through the timing and scoring, we've got a lot of drivers heading to pit road for their final stop. Edward Bray as well as Michael Atkins, they both come to pit road this time by. That's going to leave us with only 7 truck drivers left on the lead lap. They do not want to see that caution flag fly at this point in time. That's going to put the field in a, I don't even know the word to describe that. It's going to flip the field. It's going to have it all sorts of all over the place with the way these green flag pit cycles are heading right now. Todd Cray, Jim Ott, both in and on to pit road. They're making their way to their box. Cray into his box, Ott into his. And breaking off the track, coming to pit road this time by, followed by Jason Arson. Ayrson right there on to pit road from the second position on the racetrack. We've still got 17 laps remaining, and we've still got 3 drivers yet to hit pit road for their final stop. How long are they willing to stretch the fuel here? How much time are they willing to give up? There you can see Nick Hunt right behind your race leader. He's going to get himself back on the lead lap before the green flag pit cycle. So look for that 00 of Nick Hunt to be on the loud pedal and blazing fast right now. Nick Hunt is the first driver in the racing order once all the green flag pit cycles cycle on through. As we continue to watch the leader at the front of the field, Jonathan Holston, he's going to go ahead and peel off and come to pit road this time by. Looks like Toby Bird also to pit road this time by. Here's the 79 of Matthew Guggen. He's yet to head to pit road, last on pit road on lap number 66. So stretching the fuel here quite a bit is that 79 truck. We'll jump back with a few of the battles on the track as we've got Jim Thorndike looking to the inside of Ron Schutte. Schutte yet to make his final pit stop as well. Running in the 7th spot, gonna lose quite a few more by the time he makes his green flag pit stop. Tyler Boyd into the pits, as well as your top 2. Nick Hunt will now reassume the race lead. He's making his way off of turn 2 down the backstretch with 15 laps to go. He has got himself a 5.4 second race advantage over the field through this last set of green flag pit cycle, and that is just how you want to get the job done. There it is, new race leader once again at the front of the field, the 00 of Nick Hunt. And man, oh man, that Popeyes Chevy Silverado looking good up there at the front. Gonna jump back to this battle here because the positions are not settled after that green flag pit stop. Michael Atkins, he's lost a little bit of ground. Trying to get back up there and take a spot away, see if he can make his way around the 19 of Andy Starcher as Alan Young makes his way to the inside and around Atkins. So now looks like struggling a little bit as Atkins, as it was a fuel-only stop for him that time on the pit road. Made up a ton of ground, but the grip is just not there. He's got multiple drivers with fresh tires coming his way. Edward Bray drops to the bottom. 66 looks for the slide job. Not going to cut across the nose. Going to keep it pinned to the bottom. He'll make the pass anyway as they cross the line. Put Bray into the top 5. Back at the front, though, here's a battle for the second and third spot on the track. Jim Thorndike trying to keep Andy Starcher behind him. Nothing going on at the front as Nick Hunt has got a 4.2 race advantage with just 12 laps to go. And tonight's Double Down 108 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, presented to you by Swift Motorsports. Do want to send a big shout out to all the sponsors here in Swift Motorsports: RB Riggs Hyperdrive Racing, as well as Ayers iRacing Paints, Performance Motorsports as well. Big shout out to each and every one of you. Shout out to Butt Kicker as well as the entire audience here tonight, man. Hats off for each and every one of you joining us here tonight. Without you, there'd be no us. So if you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you tune in. Whether you're the fan, friend, or family, we appreciate each and every one of you, as Starcher now looks to make some ground up as Thorndike and Young have made their way by, and they are now battling for that second spot, and they are going to leave Starcher behind if he is not careful, struggling to hold on to these two drivers here, struggling to hold on to that third and final podium position. And with only 8 laps remaining in tonight's Double Down 108, we're going to take a look back at those caution flags and say Jim Thorndike is a gambling man, and it has paid off so far. Stayed out on the racetrack, gained some track position, and has since capitalized on that. Remained at the front of the field, now in the third position, the final podium spot. The gamble looks like it's going to work. Looks like it's going to pay off with 7 to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, as Nick Hunt will jump back up front with your race leader. Here he is at the front of the field. Man, oh man, that 00 Popeyes machine shot out of a cannon. Our last restart headed to pit road before the rest of the field, and now he enjoys a 3.2 second race advantage over his nearest competition. Crossing the line, 6 to go this time by, closing in on a few back markers here as we continue this long green flag run to the end of tonight's race. We started tonight with 25 drivers. We have still got 19 drivers out there on the track, 13 still on the lead lap. Toby Bird sitting in the lucky dog position should we see a late race caution, but not looking like there's gonna be one, as gaps beginning to develop between second and third. A small battle. We'll jump back here with this battle going on. That is for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Edward Bray, Andy Starcher, as well as Jason Ayerson, all right there battling for position on the track. Jim Ott about 2 seconds back, running in the 7th position. Ott falling from grace, if you will, after walking away with tonight's pole position. having some trouble on the initial start of the race, falling behind the field just a little bit was Ott. And now, there you can see that baby blue number 4 working its way into turn number 1. Has dropped outside of the top 5 and is going to struggle to try to get back up there unless one of these 3 drivers makes a mistake, because they are all over each other. Side by side battle right here, set for 3rd and 4th. As Thorndike, he has fallen from grace outside of the top 3 positions. Thorndike now running in 5th, as Edward Bray has been able to make his way on by. He's got Jason Ayerson right there running in the 4th position, right on his rear deck lid. So not in a very comfortable spot just yet is Bray. Gonna cross the line. Leader got the popsicle sticks last time by. So Nick Hunt, only 2 more laps around Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and he can park it in victory lane here tonight. Will Popeye park it in victory lane, eat some spinach, and run off to the casino with olive oil? We'll have to wait and see how much money is in the pocket after winning the race here tonight. 00 off of turn number 4, white flag in the air. Final lap here tonight in the double down 108 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Nick Hunt with a huge advantage over this final run, now saving some fuel, saving some tires, trying to make his way back to the end. Does he have enough to get there? Halfway down the backstretch, Alan Young has closed the distance. There he is. Not gonna be enough time, not gonna get there. Off of turn number 4, back through the triangle, checkered flag in the hands of the 00 of Nick Hunt. He'll walk away with the race win, first driver to capture a win here in Performance Motorsports Truck Series presented by Swift Motorsports in 2021. So put Nick Hunt at the top of the list of winners in 2021 for the Truck Series. Heck of a job. Man, oh man, Alan Young, great run at the end. Jason Ayerson with a move to get into the final podium position. Gonna lock up that 3rd place as we watch your race winner come down the front stretch. He'll see the fans at the fence pumping their fists, screaming and yelling for your race winner. The 00 of Nick Hunt gonna have a little bit of celebrations, burning the tires off here, enjoying the moment. With that being said, race fans, we're going to get things set up for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with all your post-race interviews with your top 3 live here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
cars rolling out for the start of today's 400-lap race on this .625-mile racetrack. Here's the starting lineup. On the pole from Dawsonville, Georgia, in the number 9 Coors Ford qualifying and Winston Cup race from North Wilkesboro is underway. Everybody nicely through turns number 1 and 2 as Bill Elliott has the lead and Dale Earnhardt has jumped into second position, followed by Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison.
His second win of 1987.
Backtrack side for your post-race interviews. Let's see if we can't catch a few words with the driver that had a strong finish there at the end of tonight's race, making his way into a podium spot in the late goings, making a pass in the final few laps to take away that third and final podium position, the 44 of Jason Ayerson. How you doing? It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Dave. How you doing?
Pretty good, my man. A heck of a run there at the end. How did you get that pass done to break yourself into that final podium spot?
Man, I just I didn't lift. Maybe touched the brake time or two here and there, and just to get it set and turn, and I just kept going.
Well, man, walk us through the way the truck felt, the way the track felt here tonight. Was it pretty grippy out there, or how much trouble were the tires throughout any of the runs?
Well, at the beginning of the run when we first took off, I was a little bit sketchy on that, and then as a few laps got laid down, I could move pretty much anywhere I wanted to. I chose to run right around the middle, and when I needed to, I could duck it down and pick up some time.
Well, man, you ran a great race. You were up inside the top 10 pretty much all night, up inside the top 5 for a good majority of it as well. Do you think coming into the new year after a long holiday break, a good solid third-place finish, do you think that gives you any momentum as we move forward in the next coming weeks?
Oh, absolutely. Being off for 2 weeks, I was a little nervous coming into tonight, and did some practice, and then just once we got going, I settled in. But momentum, heck yeah, I'll take it on to the next.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations on a great finish here tonight, walking away with the third position, the final podium spot. Before we let you go, though, Jason, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that truck?
Yeah, actually, I would. I'd like to thank my mom. She's down in Florida. Hopefully she was watching. Good buddy Ed, and my buddy Clayton, and my teammate Jim Ott.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations, and we'll look forward to catching up with you throughout the week or maybe even next week.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Those were some few final parting words from the driver that had a great run towards the end of tonight's race, walking away with the third place here tonight. That was driver of that 44, Jason Ayerson. Driver walking away in the second spot tonight, walking away just behind your race leader, closing the distance at the end, but not quite enough time to get there. Driver of that 86, Alan Young. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Loud and clear.
Hey, my man, you heard me mention it right there. You were closing the distance. You were almost there. What was going through your mind as that rear deck lid was getting bigger and bigger in your windshield?
I was just going for it. I was either going to wreck or catch him. So I gave it all. I just needed a few more laps.
Well, earlier we spoke with Jason Ayrson making the third and final podium spot. He said the tires and the handling of the truck wasn't too much of a concern throughout the night. How was the truck for you in that 86 team?
Truck was really good. I managed my tires really good there. I didn't want to overuse them because I wasn't quite sure what tire wear was going to look like tonight. But after that first run in the beginning of the race, I figured out that I could go a little bit harder and kind of use that to my advantage the rest of the night.
Well, speaking of using something to your advantage, some of your competitors tonight having some troubles. You're finishing in a much better spot than them at the end of the night tonight in the Double Down 108. Going to make up some ground in the point standings. Moving forward in the next couple of weeks, do you think you're going to be able to look back at this race here and say that's what kicked off the good runs that we've been having?
I'm hoping so. We came off a strong year in another league that I ran last year and just kind of transferred the luck over here. And so far, the first 2 weeks have been good for us.
That it has, absolutely, my man. And once again, congratulations on a great second place finish here tonight. Alan, before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that truck?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my brand new sponsor, FSM Customs, for coming on board this season, helping me out. My brother, Young Guns Creations, as always, for whipping up these paints each week. My mom, my dad, for watching. My two kiddos that are their names on the truck, and everyone else that's watched. And my guys at LA Sim Sport, Ed, Lee, John. Them guys are great. We all push each other, and we all came home with top 10s tonight. So.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations. And we look forward to catching up with you a little bit later on in the week and throughout the season.
Thank you.
There you have it. Final parting words for the driver walking away with the second spot here tonight. Alan Young bringing that 86 to a good, solid finish here tonight. But let's talk about this man, the driver on screen, walking away with the race win. Driver of that 00 Nick Hunt. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. We got you.
You know, Popeye's going to be partying tonight in the desert sun here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Man, what an end of the race for you. What a run on that restart. Did you think you had what it took to get the job done?
Man, I thought after that last pit stop and I got it back through, cycle through, I saw I had a 5-second lead. I thought, oh man, I got this sewed up as long as there's no caution comes out. And then in there a few laps, all of a sudden I seen this car coming. I thought, oh no, somebody's got tires back there. So I was getting a little worried, but it, I was able to hold on there. But 2 or 3 more laps, I'd have been in trouble.
Well, you said it there, closing the distance at the end, and you already mentioned it. Oh no, here he comes. How worried were you? I was going to say, did you ever worry? But you already told us you worried a little bit. So, I mean, how concerned were you in those last 3 laps of the race?
Well, once he got to about 3 seconds, he closed that pretty quick. He got a couple seconds off of me. I knew something was going on. I didn't know why those guys pitted. I was surprised some of them did. But apparently he went all the way to the back and was able to drive through there. And so I was getting worried because I really thought I had it sewed up. I thought, there's no way anybody's going to catch me. And then I saw him coming. I thought, oh, man. He wasn't on my relative there to start with. And then here he come. And I thought, well, I've got to kind of regulate this and make sure I don't burn them up and hold it, kind of make it last to the end. And it worked out.
Well, Nick, you've had some a good solid run when we started the season just before Christmas and the holiday break. A good, I believe it was a top 6 spot in that first race, and now walking away with a race win. Do you think the crew is starting to get a little more confidence? Is the driver gaining some more confidence? And how do you think you can carry the momentum from this win into the next few weeks?
Well, I didn't have much confidence tonight. I just got out of the hospital with COVID. So I'm sitting here with oxygen on and everything else, but I just wanted to finish the race tonight. So I'm really shocked. This is amazing that I made it and won it. But I feel good about this series. These guys are a lot of good drivers. Everybody's driving with respect and showing good sportsmanship on the track. Don't hear any fussing. It's just good, clean racing, long runs, and that's my style of racing. So if we can keep up these good, clean races and everybody keep driving with the respect and sportsmanship they are, this is going to be a good season, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Nick, before we let you go and celebrate throughout the night about your race win, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that beautiful Popeyes truck?
I got to thank Olive Oil, man. She's been over here in the side seat with me the whole time, just a squealing. And he pulled out that old can of spinach there at the end. I popped that off and made it to the end there. But no, I appreciate y'all guys, Turn 3 and Swift Motorsports, Justin Gann, Don Kidder, Andy Starcher. Thanks for letting me run over here. They've got a good thing started. Looks like you're going to have a good league. So it looks it's going to be a good season. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody on the track tonight running clean and just making it a lot of fun. So appreciate that.
Well, Nick, before I let you go, I'm going to go ahead and say this, added a little extra to you. Congratulations on a great race night. Congratulations on soldiering it out there, man. Oxygen and all that in hand, getting the job done. Stay safe. I hope you get healthy very soon, and we wish you the best. And, you know, I'm not one to say stuff like this on air, but kick its I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I hope you have a speedy recovery, and we look forward to seeing you have some great more moments like this throughout the season.
Appreciate it. I just got to rub it in on one guy. I was teasing him for the race, to Michael Atkins. I'm not calling him out. I'm just having fun with him. But I told him for the race, I said, John, it's going to be embarrassing when this old man comes out here out of the hospital with COVID, got oxygen in his nose and everything, and it beats you, young whippersnapper. So I got to give him a hard time. And I called it and I did it. But I know he had some trouble. But I just wanted to rub it in on him a little bit. It's fun. I never thought I'd be able to do this tonight. So I appreciate it, guys.
You're the race winner. You can rub whatever you want in. It's your prerogative at this point in time, my man. Heck of a job once again, and we look forward to catching up with you throughout the season.
Thank you.
There you have it. Final few words from your race winner, the 00 of Nick Hunt. Parks the Popeyes machine right there in victory lane. Man, oh man, what a great race it absolutely was here tonight. Whew. And what a way to finish things, right? I mean, Nick Hunt, fresh out of the hospital, oxygen in hand, and comes through the field at the end of the race. Biggest mover of the race, up 16 spots to take the race win. You can't script a better end to a great race like we had here tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Double Down 108 for Performance Motorsports Truck Series presented by Swift Motorsports here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And as the fans begin to file out of the raceway, we'll get set to run down your finishing order for tonight's race, and it looks like we are getting the thumbs up. We have all of that queued up, so let's go ahead and go to your unofficial race results tonight. As the music begins to play in the background, that means, well, it's time walking away with the race win here tonight in race number 2, Season 2 for Performance Motorsports Truck Series, the Double Down 108 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The Popeyes Machine, the Double O of Nick Hunt. Solid second place run here tonight for the 86 of Alan Young. Jason Ayrson gonna finish in the third and final podium spot. Driver of that 66 machine, Edward Bray, good run, finishing in fourth, rounding out your top 5 after an early gamble, the 53 of Jim Thorndike. Sixth spot goes to the 19 of Andy Starcher. Jim Ott, your pole sitter tonight, gonna walk away from the track in seventh. Eighth place goes to Jonathan Holston. Michael Atkins Jr., after leading the most laps in the race, gonna bring his 41 home in the ninth spot, and rounding out your top 10 tonight, the 18 of Britt Crawford. Kevin Haas gonna walk away from the track in 11th, slotting home in 12th is Matthew Highmore. Ryan Branch, who had some trouble tonight, gonna finish last car on the lead lap in the 13th position. First car off of the lead lap here tonight, finishing in 14th, the 99 of Toby Bird. Larry Poling gonna walk away in 15th, 16th to Ron Schutte, and Don Kidder slots home in 17th. 18th spot goes to the 32 of Darren Clement. 19th, Stephen Ayers Jr. Todd Cray with some trouble and off of the pace, finishing 17 laps down tonight in the 20th spot. Sebastian Gorgon right there in 21st. Caden Atkins, early trouble tonight, gonna slot home in the 22nd spot. 23rd goes to Brian Hitz. Jimmy Cormier gonna finish in 24th. In the 25th, in a final position here tonight, goes to the 10 of David Cameron. Big shout out as well to race control and admins here tonight in Swift Motorsports NASCAR Performance Motorsports Truck Series Double Down 108 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Big time shout out to Justin Gain as well as Gary Wells. And well, with that being said, race fan, once again, we have had a fantastic race, and we look forward to catching you once again tomorrow night here on the Turn 3 Racing Network when Swift Motorsports RB Riggs Xfinity Series heads off across country down to Homestead, Miami, Florida. We'll wait for you there. That is for sure going to be another great night of racing action, just like tonight here for Swift Motorsports. And with that being said, race fans, it's a new year, new life. But let's stay safe, stay loved. Until then, we'll meet you. Turn 3.
The field is rolling on the back straightaway.
Get ready. This is going to be tight. Out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen. The All-American 400 is underway.
Got to be careful. The bumps here can get you every time. Entering the corner, exiting the corner.
In addition,